Hello, Yankees fans. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. If you share the passion for the Yankees and haven't subscribed to the channel yet, think about hitting that subscribe button. We're aiming to reach 22,000 subscribers, and your support would mean a lot. So let's get into the latest update from the Bronx. Unfortunately, the Yankees suffered another loss last night, falling to Arizona with a final score of 4-3. It was a tough game, and almost looked like they were heading for a shutout. However, one player stepped up in a big way, hitting a 3-run homer, preventing the game from turning into a complete disaster. Still, despite that spark, the Yankees were unable to capitalize on the moment, and they ended up losing by that same 4-3 scoreline. Now, let's talk about the pitching performance. One of the starters had a rough start to the game. He gave up 4 runs in the first 2 innings, which is definitely not the kind of start you want to see from a guy on the mound. But here's where things got a little more interesting. Despite those early struggles, he managed to regroup and keep the game within reach. After those tough first 2 innings, he pitched 4 consecutive scoreless innings, finishing the night with 6 innings pitched, 4 walks, and 5 strikeouts. While it wasn't the dominant performance that you'd expect from an ace, it's important to remember that this was only his second start of the season. So, it's clear that there's still room for him to find his rhythm. And the fact that he showed some mental toughness after a rocky beginning is actually a good sign. I wouldn't hit the panic button just yet, especially when you consider how early we are in the season. It's still just the beginning, and there's plenty of time for this guy to settle in. On the relief side, there was another pitcher who took over after him and threw 3 solid scoreless innings. But even with that, he had his own set of struggles. He walked 3 batters and only managed to strike out 1. Despite that, he did his job in keeping the game within reach and preventing the bullpen from completely imploding. It wasn't perfect by any means, but considering the circumstances, it was an important contribution. Now, when we shift our focus to the batting side, it was a pretty rough night for the Yankees. They struck out a whopping 15 times during the game. Yes, you heard that right, 15 strikeouts. That's a pretty brutal stat and one that you don't want to see from a team with such high expectations. One player in particular struck out 3 times, while another also went down on strikes 3 times. There was even a third player who matched that total of 3 strikeouts. Some of the others were a bit better, but still not great, with a couple of guys striking out twice and one more going down once. The only player who didn't strike out was someone who managed to get 2 hits in 4 at-bats, so he was one of the few bright spots in the lineup. It's clear that Yankees fans online are feeling pretty frustrated right now, especially with the performance of one player in particular. He's taken quite a bit of heat from the fan base, largely due to his 3 strikeouts in the game. Now, I get it. It's easy to get caught up in the frustration when things aren't going well. But I want to remind everyone that this is still a young rookie we're talking about. He's still figuring things out at the major league level, and we've got to be patient. Yes, he struggled last night, but the reality is that it's still incredibly early in the season. We've only had 5 games so far, and this kid has already shown his potential. Just remember, he's got the ability to hit at least 20 home runs this season, and he's already demonstrated that by hitting 2 singles and a homer against one of the league's best pitchers. So, let's give him time to grow and develop. Sure, he had a tough game last night, but let's not forget that he's still finding his way, and I'm confident that he'll be fine. Now, let's shift our focus a bit to Anthony Volpe. I've been a bit hard on Volpe in the past, and the main reason for that is his ranking as the 6th best prospect in all of Major League Baseball. That's a huge deal, and with that kind of hype, the expectations are naturally higher. During his first couple of years in the league, his offensive numbers weren't exactly jaw-dropping. In his rookie season, he posted a batting average of just .209 with 21 home runs and an OPS of .666. Those numbers, let's be honest, are far from impressive for someone considered one of the top prospects in the game. In his second year, he did improve his batting average to .243, but again, that's not exactly a major leap forward. His OPS was still only .657, which is below average, especially for a player with his pedigree. However, the start to this season has been much more promising. Volpe has already hit 4 home runs in just 5 games. His batting average might only be sitting at .200 right now, but that's not the most important stat. What's really impressive is that he's already knocked 4 home runs, while it took him nearly 40 games last season to hit just 3. This is the kind of raw power that Volpe has, and it's clear he's got the ability to be a major impact player. If he can continue to develop, we could be looking at a guy with an OPS somewhere between .800 and .850, and potentially a shortstop who wins Gold Gloves. That's the level he's capable of reaching, and it's why I've been a little tough on him. I know he's capable of greatness, and I truly believe this could be his breakout season. The kid has power, and as he matures, I can easily see him becoming a legitimate force in the lineup, possibly hitting 30 home runs in a season. That's the kind of potential he has, so let's be patient and allow him to keep developing. As much as I've been critical of Volpe, it's because I know what he's capable of. He's not just any prospect. He's one of the best, and I'm convinced he's going to prove that this season. Let's not just settle for saying, oh, he's still developing. We all know he's got the tools to be a star, and I expect him to show that on the field this year. He's been putting up solid numbers in the minors, hitting more than 21 home runs for 3 seasons in a row. As he gets older and stronger, I can easily picture him hitting 30 homers a season. So, let's stop holding him back and start celebrating his potential. I'd like to pose a question to all of you watching. Should the Yankees consider extending the contracts of some of their young players? Over the past few months, several players have received contract extensions, which ensure they avoid arbitration years and solidify their place in the team for the long term. One of the most interesting cases has been a player who, despite having only played a few games in the majors, managed to secure an 8-year contract extension. This deal bypasses some crucial service time and arbitration years, giving the Yankees an advantage by locking in a key player for the future. Now, this raises the question, should the Yankees be thinking about offering contract extensions to their rising stars, particularly their younger prospects? Personally, I believe that at least one of these talented players should be offered an extension. There's one in particular who has been showing a lot of promise, and I think the Yankees would be wise to lock him in for the long term. This player has made incredible strides defensively, establishing himself as one of the best framers in all of Major League Baseball. His ability behind the plate is already elite, and if he continues to improve offensively, he could become one of the best overall catchers in the game. When it comes to his hitting, once he finds a rhythm, he's a force to be reckoned with. Last year, he posted an OPS of around .718, with 13 home runs to his name. While those numbers are solid, I believe he has the potential to do even better. Once he fully adjusts to Major League pitching and gets comfortable, I have no doubt he can hit 30 home runs in a season. If that happens, the Yankees would have a true star on their hands. Another key factor is his age. He's still young, and as he matures, I'm confident that his offensive game will develop. We've seen flashes of his power already, and it wouldn't surprise me if he becomes one of the most dangerous hitters in the lineup. On top of that, his defense is already at an elite level, and that's something the Yankees can't overlook. If the team is serious about building a strong core for the future, extending his contract could be a smart move to ensure they retain a top-tier player who can make an impact both offensively and defensively. He has the potential to be a cornerstone player for the Yankees for many years to come. Of course, I also believe that the Yankees should consider offering extensions to some of their other top prospects. There's another player on the team who's shown a lot of promise as well, and I think he too deserves a long-term deal. He's been one of the most consistent performers this season and has demonstrated the kind of ability that could lead him to a very successful career. Much like the first player I mentioned, this prospect has a combination of power and defensive skills that could make him a star. If he keeps up his current pace, there's a real chance he could hit 30 home runs as well, and that's a rare kind of potential. In fact, when you think about it, if the Yankees were to lock in these young players with contract extensions, they could set themselves up for years of success. Imagine a lineup with these two players, both of whom are capable of hitting 30 home runs per season, alongside established stars like Aaron Judge. That's a lineup that would be tough for any pitcher to face. Of course, we're still early in the season, but the way things are shaping up, it's not out of the question that these young guys could quickly become key contributors to the team's success. But here's the thing. We've seen other teams take this approach, and it's paid off. Teams like the Atlanta Braves have made moves to secure their young talent for the future, locking in players like Ronald Acuna Jr. and Ozzie Albies to long-term deals before they even reach their full potential. These moves have proven to be successful, and the Braves are now one of the best teams in the league. If the Yankees want to build a similarly successful future, they might want to consider following suit and extending contract to their top prospects before they hit free agency. Why not lock in these guys while they're still under team control? The Yankees have the financial resources to make this kind of move, and it would be a great way to ensure that they don't lose these young talents to other teams in the future. At the end of the day, it's all about building a strong foundation for the future. The Yankees have always been a team that goes after big-name free agents, but with the talent they have in their farm system, it might be time to start focusing on locking up their own homegrown stars. By offering contract extensions to some of their younger players, the Yankees could create a team that's not just competitive for a few years, but a team that can compete for championships over the long term. And when you think about it, that's what the Yankees are all about: winning championships and building a dynasty. There's another important consideration here as well. Contract extensions can help to create a sense of stability within the team. When players know that they have a secure future with the organization, it can lead to improved performance on the field. These young players won't have to worry about looming contract negotiations or the possibility of being traded. They can simply focus on playing their best baseball. And that's when you see the best performances, when players aren't distracted by off-field issues. If the Yankees want to keep their young stars focused and motivated, offering contract extensions could be a great way to do that. In conclusion, while it may seem early to be talking about contract extensions for young players, the reality is that the Yankees need to start thinking ahead. If they want to build a successful team for the future, they should consider extending the contracts of their top prospects. By locking in their young talent now, they can avoid the risk of losing them to free agency later, and they can start building a core group of players who can carry the team to success for many years to come. The potential is there, and it's time for the Yankees to make the smart move before it's too late. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. The New York Yankees have never been a team to shy away from making bold moves, and their latest target, Shane Smith, is already generating waves across Major League Baseball. The young right-hander, currently with the Chicago White Sox, has captured the attention of the Yankees front office, sparking speculation that the Bronx Bombers could make a serious push to bring him to New York. With an arsenal of electric pitches and an impressive debut season underway, Smith might just be the missing piece in the Yankees championship puzzle. Smith's rise to prominence has been nothing short of remarkable. Selected first overall in the 2024 Rule 5 draft by the White Sox, he defied expectations by earning a spot on their opening day roster in 2025. Just days later, he made his MLB debut, showcasing the raw talent that had scouts buzzing. His ability to command the mound under pressure has made him one of the most intriguing young pitchers in the league, exactly the kind of player the Yankees are known for coveting. While the White Sox are keen on holding on to their newfound gem, the Yankees have both the financial muscle and the trade assets to make a compelling offer. The Bronx-based franchise has long sought to bolster its pitching staff, and Smith's potential makes him a prime target. With their sights set on a deep postseason run, acquiring a pitcher of Smith caliber could be the kind of high-stakes move that defines their season. Rumors suggest that the Yankees front office has been closely monitoring Smith's progress, evaluating whether a mid-season trade could be feasible. If the White Sox struggle in the standings, the temptation to capitalize on Smith's rising value might prove too strong to resist. For New York, adding a young and controllable arm would not only strengthen their rotation, but also position them as favorites in a highly competitive American League. As the season unfolds, all eyes will be on Smith and the White Sox. Will Chicago hold firm and build around their promising right-hander, or will the Yankees' relentless pursuit prove too enticing to ignore? One thing is certain, the baseball world is watching, and the stakes couldn't be higher. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.